So here it is. I have upgraded the game to play on the surface of a torus instead of a sphere. The objective is still to shoot the rabbit by flying around and getting it into the laser crosshairs. The whole reason I wanted to make this game was to see what it was like to navigate on the surface of other three-dimensional shapes. I think spheres are pretty obvious and our brains kind of work in 2 dimensions, and so a sphere is a stretch for us. I think trying to fly around the surface of a torus is really difficult for me and probably for other people too. The position is calculated by the nearest 3 dots, and that determines the plane that the ship is on, and then when it moves off that plane to the next 3 dots, it has to calculate the new plane. This takes quite a lot of CPU power because it's all done with the CPU and not the GPU. The other interesting thing I can do is try to fly on the inside of the torus. It's a little bit unstable to try to keep it centered, but the ship can zoom around pretty fast around the inside of the torus. One feature that I put in is the camera tracking on the right hand side, and so I can have the camera follow the white ship around and try to keep it centered in the view. This helps a little bit with navigation. Of course, you don't know where you are on the torus because there's no relative position, but it kind of helps you follow the impact of flying around, and so you can kind of see where you're headed in some way, and it's easier to track the rabbit this way as opposed to both ships flying around. It's really tough to keep track of which surface it's on because there's so many possibilities. The last way I have the camera set up to track is to follow the rabbit. This makes it pretty much impossible to try to fly the ship around to catch the rabbit. So the rabbit is always centered in the view on the right hand side, but the white ship is left to try to figure out where that is in space in relation to where the white ship is going, and so it's especially difficult to try to keep track of the relative positions of both ships. So I made this simulation because I had not seen it done before. I wanted to see how difficult it was to navigate in torus space. What other shape should I try? I think this video answers the age-old question, what is the best strategy for a paper airplane dogfight on a torus? Is anything about this interesting? Please let me know what you think in the comments.